first, we have Uzo Iwobi, a woman who has made UK history, delivering a keynote speech, originally from Nigeria. Yes, my ancestry as well, so I'm feeling good here. Uzo holds a law degree from the University of Nigeria, and she is qualified as a solicitor and a barrister, and was called to the Nigerian bar. After qualifying as a barrister in Nigeria, Uzo moved to Wales, where she founded Race Council Cymru, I said that right, I love that word, okay, and served as the Chief Executive Officer until recently. Uzo continues to coordinate the RCC's training, supports community engagement, and leads the Black History Wales programme in part-time position, whilst also working with Welsh Government in the position of Specialist Policy Advisor on Equalities. I had to take my time with that because it's powerful and needed, okay? And then Uzo has sat on the board of not just one, several voluntary organisations, including serving as the chairperson of the African Community Centre in Wales, which she founded in 2004. In 2004, Uzo was involved in developing national policies on race relations and diversity. Please welcome Uzo.
Thank you so much. Wow. I am absolutely ecstatic to be on this very stage of More Than Enough. Today, I want to talk to you about how you can make your own life more than just a moment. It was as our wonderful compere introduced me, coming from Nigeria, very young age, just under 30 years ago, arriving at the job centre in Swansea, and being told by an official that I could not ever practice law in Wales because I'm Black, straight up, and also advised me to change my name from Uzo because nobody could say it, and pick an English name. Stupidly at the time, I agreed to pick my my baptismal name as a Catholic. I'm not practicing as a Catholic and Pentecostal, and I didn't really like that name, Linda. But I became Linda for so many years until my daughter, who was born in Swansea, said to me, "Mom, you need to step into your identity and be who you always are. Uzo is short for Uzo Amak, and that is your name. You need to own it, you need to enjoy it, and you need to embody it because it means the doorway of blessing." It's an Igbo word from Nigeria. So starting my life in Wales was really full of challenges. I was turned away from all sorts of jobs, and then I was advised by that same woman to forget that I was ever a barrister, to forget that I was ever a solicitor, and not to tell anybody at all about all those, because they will say you're overqualified. Start from the shop floor and work your way to the top. That's what she said to me. And despite applying to so many law firms, absolutely no chance. I remember one solicitor interviewed me for a civil procedure. 1.5 hours of grilling later, he said, "You're a very intelligent woman, really smart." I said, "Thank you. Does that mean I get the job?" "Oh, no, I just wanted to know what they teach you in those countries." So there was absolutely no intention to recruit, to encourage, or to even ask me to shadow somebody. That was my start. My first job in Wales was selling toys in Toys R Us. Okay, and it was £2.40 an hour, and I had to go as well to I had to get an additional job, £3.60 an hour packing crisps in Walker's factory. And I never told anybody I was a lawyer. I needed to earn money, because if you come from an international country like me, in Nigeria, my father was a professor of crop science, and he believed in us educating and supporting each other. That was the heritage which I have. And so as soon as you graduate from university, he'll allocate 3 additional relatives for you to raise them and pay for their school fees. So I had these 3 wonderful people waiting. I was only 23, I was newly married. I'm married to the best man in the world, actually, Andrew. And he's also a lawyer who taught me. So that's another story. But I want you to know that all the racism that I encountered as an individual, as a young woman from Nigeria inspired me to open up, contact the news agents and ask if people from Africa or African Caribbean backgrounds were around. I told them I was very lonely. I didn't know where I was. I advertised in the Evening Post. First night, 4 people came, and they were interested in opening up a cultural center with me. That later, 4 people has become 537 members with about 5 to 6 members of staff, and spreading from Swansea to Cardiff, where they've launched an organization. And that also led me to begin to explore, what is Black history in context? What does it mean to me as a woman, as a Black woman, as a woman who sees herself as Nigerian, but also has naturalized in Wales? And beginning to encapsulate all that I had within me. Even though I was a lawyer, I could sing, and I'm always excited to engage with the creative industry. So you couldn't keep a song away. And, you know, that led me to begin to do Black history work. And Black history work I did wasn't talking about enslavement of our ancestors, because I knew that that was being poorly taught in schools. I began to talk about the inventions that Black people actually made. I wanted to talk about the creative content. Did we know that a Black person, a Black man, created the traffic light system, the elevator? Did you know that a Black man created the lawn mower, the lawn sprinkler, the tricycle? Did you know that every time you climb up an escalator or elevator, however you say it, it's a Black man that made that? Did you know that the earliest version of a stethoscope was made by a Black man? And I wanted that story carried out because a lot of our children were facing incredible racism. In Wales, where we grew up, my 2 children were the only Black children in their primary school. And at 7, my son was locked in a toilet by 4 white kids. One held the toilet door where they told him, oh, come and play with water. So he went in, they shut the door and beat him to an inch of his life. And I tell you, that child came out with a rage within him at 7. They grew up together, they were born together. These are some of the incidences that happened to our children. I've had attack on my property. I've had people say, go home to your country, you Black, whatever. But there is something about the Black person. We have an indomitable spirit and we will not be crushed. So now is your moment to rise from where you are and make sure that it is more than a moment. It's more than George Floyd dying. It's more than just sitting down and listening and being passive. Now is the time to get creative in your own space. You cannot, you know, people said to me, as you continue to think about the work you've done in Wales, did you set out to change the world? No, I didn't set out to change the world. I set out to change the world around me. And one person that really inspired me was Cicely Tyson, who said, I dare to dream audacious dreams. So I challenge you, dare to dream audacious dreams. Today in Wales, the Black History movement, of which I'm one of 55 founders, has grown so significantly. We have 88 members on the management committee. And we have 126 diverse organizations that form the committee. And we work right across Wales. We have 5 multicultural hubs with over 300 different grassroots groups that we have opened up. We've set up the Zero Racism Wales to say, post-George Floyd, everybody signed the pledge as an individual and as an organization to make the change and become the change that you want to see. All it takes for racism to end is for every single person in our society to pledge to end racism. And so the work that we've done is to bring Black history center stage in Wales. And our committee said, no longer will we talk about Black History Month, even though it's a wonderful idea, and we always start in October. It was interesting to hear the poet talking about 2 djembes in October. That's what everybody wants. But we said Black History 365, because every day should be Black history, and Black history is Welsh history. And today, I'm delighted to say that having joined the voices of my brothers and sisters from Caribbean islands, from different parts of Africa, from local white Welsh people who are passionate about Black equality and inclusion, we have worked as a committee to the extent that this year the Queen gave us an honor of an MBE for the Black history work we've been doing. Also, we have finally, we've been campaigning for years, just under 30 years, to embed Black history in the curriculum. And Professor Charlotte Williams led the committee with our Black history members and a few others to write a document post the death of George Floyd. We wanted to make sure it was more than a moment. And we demanded 51 recommendations to Welsh government, which they accepted. And I'll tell you something that happened. Today in Wales, Black history will be 365 because it is embedded in legislation. The Curriculum and Assessment Act of 2021 means that every child, white and Black, will get to hear about the contributions of people of Black African and African Caribbean and other diverse ethnic groups in their schools. You can make a change. I'm here today on the platform of More Than Enough to support the fantastic work the group do and what Elizabeth is doing. Come on, she's a change agent, people. Come together and lift the roof and raise your gaze because you're powerful. And I believe that we can make the change, and now is the time. Now is the time. You will never get another time like now because people are listening. It's all about George Floyd's death, but people are beginning to say, if this can happen in our very sight, 9 minutes, 27 seconds, in spite of the death of Martin Luther King Jr. And all he fought for, in spite of Mandela's work, in spite of Malcolm X's work, in spite of so many ancestors who have risen and spoken about us, and still this man was killed before our eyes in 2020. May 25th, 2020. Surely now is the time to rise and be creative and be your full empowered self. Don't allow anybody to stop you from smashing through triple glazed glass ceilings. We can do it. We can do it together. Let's make this world just more than a moment. Thank you so much.